A devastating scene in Paris as the spire of the Notre-Dame Cathedral toppled over after a raging fire torched one of the world's most iconic landmarks. Locals and tourists alike looked on in horror as they watched a piece of history get reduced to rubble. After raging for hours, that massive blaze is now under control, but the damage it left is being felt around the world, particularly by those from the Catholic community. This is the holiest week in the Catholic calendar, and for the faithful, Notre-Dame Cathedral served as more than just an architectural marvel.
We saw this massive plume of thick smoke that just kept getting bigger and bigger in weird colors. It was roaring, and it kept roaring and roaring and roaring. And then, it really felt like forever till we actually saw the water being pumped from the back end, So it was really quite an astounding thing to see.
Like many others, Sidhu Sudarshan felt helpless watching one of the world's most visited landmarks go up in flames. A massive fire engulfed Paris's Notre-Dame Cathedral around 7 p.m. local time. Horrified onlookers watched in disbelief as 850 years of history crumbled before their eyes.
It's just part of the landscape. It's like a mountain or a landmark that's just always there. So for this to happen, it was really quite shocking.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation, and police are treating it as an accident. The cathedral was undergoing renovations at the time, with scaffolding surrounding some sections of the structure. The congregation was in the middle of evening mass when the fire broke out. Officials say 2/3 of the roof have been destroyed, and the cathedral's iconic spire snapped in two.
I think all around the world, all of us feel a certain sadness in our hearts at the thought of the people of Paris losing their, not only such an astonishing, most beautiful cathedral in the world, but their cathedral. No matter whether we're beautiful or not, it is their church.
The impact of the tragedy is being felt here at home. As worshippers arrived for evening mass at St. Michael's Cathedral in Toronto, many were thinking about the devastating loss a world away.
You don't even have to be religious to appreciate the architecture. It's a great loss, not only to Catholicism, but even to history.
But it is particularly heartbreaking for Catholics, especially with this being the Holy Week leading up to Good Friday and Easter Sunday.
There's no time when such a terrible thing would be good, obviously, but this is our most sacred time. The people of Paris will be gathering with their bishop in Notre-Dame to celebrate, to go through the most profound elements of our Christian faith. And so the cathedral now is destroyed, at least for now.
Images from inside the 12th century cathedral show the extent of some of the damage. The church is also home to irreplaceable works of art, some of whose fate remains unknown. There were fears for one of Notre Dame's most prized possessions, the crown of thorns said to be worn by Jesus before crucifixion. But Paris's mayor laid concerns to rest, tweeting a photo saying that it was among a number of precious items saved from the flames with the help of police.
That's a very important relic for the church, and given that it's his land, and that also helps us remember why we do what we do, why we worship Jesus.
Outside the cathedral tonight, a crowd breaking out in a solemn hymn, mourning the loss of a historic marvel. But many worshippers are remembering that their faith lies in more than just a building.
The church does not mean that it's not just a structure, it's about community.
It was beautiful, but at the end of the day, it's still just a structure. We can always rebuild.
Now, the cathedral's towers are believed to have been spared, and the fire is now under control after raging for hours. One firefighter was seriously injured. France's president tonight thanking fire crews for their bravery.